role of being a parent in this process is very interesting. We want what's best for our students. I have a daughter who's a college student, and I love her dearly, and I want what's best for her. But finding the right balance of the role of parent here is tough. You need to be helpful to your son or daughter, but you can't own this process. Your son or daughter has to own it. He or she has to make the decision about what's best for them, because they know in their stomach what's best for them. So as parents, you need to be supportive, you need to be as helpful as you can be, but ultimately your son or daughter owns it. To students going through this, your relationship with your parents, understand for your parents this is a hard process. It's hard for us to let go. We want
even for yourself?
Even for me. It was very hard for me to let go. My daughter, for example, refused to show me her essays. Refused to show me her essays, and I kept saying, "This is what I do for a living," and she said, "No, this is all me." So, for those of you who are students, you have to understand this is a hard time for parents. We want the best for you. We have been very involved in your lives all along. We need, a lot of us, and we need to let go. So you need to give us a little space. You need to give us a little patience, and when you need help, you need to ask for it, because your face for "I don't need help" is exactly the same face as "I do need help." Okay, so make sure that you tell us when you need help, and be understanding of the fact that for parents this can be a confusing and a little bit scary process. So you need to work together in this process, both parents and kids.
Okay.
I think as parents, we have to really encourage that, not direct it. We have to let them, in this transition to adulthood, in fact, be in control of the process. Obviously caring, obviously supporting, but not directing, because I think the problem with parents is there's a tendency for them to direct this process, and therefore taking the ownership away from the student, him or herself.
I'd also like to talk a little bit to parents and how they might want to think about this process. And I guess the first thing I would reiterate, and this is something I think just to keep in mind about the college search and application process, is that again, it should be fun. Don't count it being fair, because the fairness, depending on how you evaluate it, it will be hard to find that space in college admissions. But if you approach it with a positive attitude, have some fun with it, and know that this process is going to launch your child into the next great chapter of their lives. Some of that anxiety about getting into the right school or getting into the one school will be less important. And I think time in the process and time spent with your child help both the parents and the students in the process. And one of the things I've always said, sort of tongue-in-cheek to parents about the college search process, is that if you sort of think about when you were sort of bringing your child into the world, without generalizing too much, it takes about 9 months to bring them into the world. It'll take them about 9 months to send them out into the world as well. If they start their college process in earnest around, let's say, June of their junior year of high school, in about 9 months, by March of that following year, they will have applied, got into college, and found exactly the right fit for themselves, if you give it the right amount of time, and if you have enough fun with the process and realizing that this is an exciting time in their lives.